Hi everyone! Hope you're having a fantastic day, morning, evening, afternoon. In this live, I want to talk about perfectionism, about this ghost called perfection that we keep chasing and we can't seem to be able to catch. So, if you're joining me, let me know please if you can hear me well. Just take a second to share this in my group. Say hello if you're watching me. Okay. So, society, particularly the patriarchy, has pretty much set everything up for us and we just need to follow. And in terms of perfect, for us women, the patriarchy has set for us the standards of what it looks like to be perfect in shape, and also what it looks like for us to be perfect in our career, in our success. And so, when it comes to how we look, it's basically how good we or how well we adhere to what excites the masculine, right? And so it's about this straight, sleeky hair that is shiny, super soft skin that is wrinkle free. In terms of our body, we have to look a certain way as well. We even have measures to what our body should look like in terms of like our height, and then there's this waist to hip ratio, and this is what it also keeps evolving. At one stage perfect is one thing, and then it's always upgrading and updating, and then perfect is something else. And then when it comes to our work, our career, women are expected to do things a man's way. And so success becomes, for a woman, it takes the form of this corporate lady who is wearing this suit. She's really slim and this suit just fits her so perfectly, and she's got this big fat bank account and she is like hitting those goals. And so success is really about being like goal oriented, and it's all about achieving those results and making bank in particular. And so it's like this the wolf energy. We embody the wolf energy in our career, because the career world, the work environment is set by the masculine, by the patriarchy, and we just have to follow. This is what the patriarchy says: we have set everything for you, you just have to conform, adhere, just follow. And so basically perfection becomes how much you're able to adhere to these masculine rules. And this pushes us women to first disconnect from our bodies. because we are strictly functioning under our masculine energy. We disconnect from our body, we disconnect from our truth, we disconnect from our creativity, and basically from our feminine flow. We disconnect from everything that is related to our feminine essence. And so we imprison our inner feminine, becomes, locked up in this prison. And this is where every woman on her own heroine's journey, there comes this stage where she is feeling like her inner feminine can no longer remain imprisoned inside of her, remain imprisoned into all of these boxes that the patriarchy has created for us. And so, we start the fight. Our inner feminine starts desiring to break free. But for some of us who, we keep on adhering to these criteria, we have low emotional resilience because we strive to be perfect. We're always looking for how can we make this better and better, and not in a way that allows us to move into progress, but we're dissatisfied with where we are right now. And so we're going after the perfect thing in everything, in our work, in relationships, in how we look, how we speak, also to others, in how we react. I mean, think of, for example, in the spiritual world, we're taught, being perfectly spiritual is when you namaste everything, right? You basically have no say about anything. You're just in that serene place where you're just you say nothing, you react about nothing, and nothing can trigger you. And so also we strive to be in that zen place. But this pushing ourselves into like adhering to this perfection exhausts us, and it depletes us, and it gets us stuck in anxiety. We procrastinate, we are under a lot of stress. Studies show that perfectionists have low emotional resilience because they're always dissatisfied with whatever they are creating. Although they strive to make it better, but not, like I said, not from a place of, I like what I did, because, I have to adhere to all of these rules. And sometimes, like I said, we get stuck. We wait on like the perfect idea, or I wait until I'm perfect in everything, and for me to, for example, seek a relationship, or I wait until, for example, for me, one example in for us coaches, maybe I would wait for like until I have this perfect certification, the perfect website, the perfect a photo shoot, the perfect then it's the perfect post, until I start sharing my truth and sharing my message, until I start expressing my soul's purpose. So it keeps us stuck, and we procrastinate. We're waiting. We're just stuck. And also, it's not only the society that plays part, the cultural programming that plays part in this. Also, our childhood, our upbringing, how we were raised by our parents, and we're usually raised in a way, soul killing. Absolutely, yes, it is. It is soul killing. And so, as kids, we are asked to be those perfect kids because it reflects on our parents, it makes them the perfect parents. And so I can give you one example. My mom used to tell us when we were kids, we were six kids, and so we're five girls and a boy. And so I can understand the emotional labor that my mom had to endure to raise six kids. And she would tell us, we're going to visit, for example, her friend, or visit a family member. She would tell us, when we get there, their kids are going to ask you to go play with them. And I will tell you, yes, you can go, but you should not go. If you go, I will punish you. So can you imagine the trauma that we would be experiencing at that point? So really our parents traumatize us to be these perfect kids because, it reflects on them as them being the perfect parents. And so we become the overachievers because we have this inherent belief that we're not enough. And for example, we have to be always A students. We have to be like the overperformers, right? And so this builds within us this belief that we're not enough and that we have to keep on proving ourselves. And our efforts are not acknowledged. And so we think that we are not worthy of love. We have to perform and overperform to be worthy of love. And so this manifests, this limiting belief manifests in different scenarios in our lives. And for example, when I am functioning under this, it's a wounded masculine energy, really. When I'm functioning under this wounded masculine energy, for example, in my work, I have to adhere to these like steps and follow all of these steps strictly and make sure I'm like doing every tiny bit of all of these steps. But this keeps me stuck in my mind, in my head, and deprives me the joy and the pleasure of me experiencing my other feminine superpowers, like my intuition, for example. And so let's say I'm a coach, and in my the container of my coaching sessions, if all I am focused on is to show my client that I am the perfect coach and that I'm following all the instructions of how a coaching session should go, then I'm depriving myself first the joy of connecting to my soul's mission, my purpose, my intuition, and my love for service. And I'm depriving the client themselves all of what that would give them. I'm not helping them in any way. Maybe I'm just helping them in how to follow tools, how to follow the technique. For example, if I'm just explaining a technique and you do this first and then that and then that, then okay, this is what I'm giving them. Point. Period. That's all. And this also keeps my inner feminine imprisoned, stuck. She cannot express in this container. In my house, for example, I have to make sure that everything is like super clean, shining, everything is tidy, and the kids have to look perfect, and they're always well groomed. And if, for example, I have some dishes in the kitchen, dirty dishes, I start experiencing anxiety and worry if someone wants to come and visit me. I have to make sure either that I go and make sure everything is just clean before they come, or I just tell them, I'm not home, I cannot receive you, I'm busy. And so I'm denying myself the joy and pleasure of connecting with my friend because I'm busy thinking about, what if they come to my house and see this mess? What are they going to say about me? This is how I'm not enough is playing out. I put a lot of weight on what they think about me, because that is going to reflect, or the belief inside of me is going to, that I'm not enough, is going to believe what they are saying, because I believe that they're saying that I'm not good, I'm not a good mother, I'm not a good housekeeper. And so they may not be at that place, they may not be really that attentive to details. They really don't. And if she's my friend, she doesn't really care if my sink has some dirty dishes, or if in my laundry room there are some unwashed clothes. Also in my relationships, if I am always wearing this mask of wanting to be perfect in my relationship, then I'm putting myself under a lot of stress, and also I'm suffocating the man, because it's truly suffocating for the man um, to keep up with this persona, this mask that I'm wearing all the time of wanting to be perfect in a relationship. And it also denies me the joy and pleasure of creating real connection, because if I'm able to just be myself and be okay with my imperfections, it inspires the man to be the same with me, and for him to be himself, and to like connect at a deeper level, because I'm stuck in my head. If I'm always striving for that perfection, I'm stuck in my head, and I'm denying myself a lot of what I can gain from this relationship, because I'm not being receptive at that place, because I'm under my masculine energy. I cannot receive, and this kills the connection. This kills the chemistry also, because when I'm in my feminine and he's in his masculine, this is when chemistry sparks. But if I'm in my masculine and he's in his masculine, then we're just repelling. And so this also moves me away, alienates me from my human experience, because we are not supposed to be perfect. This perfect does not exist. Unless I allow myself to embrace all of these imperfections, then I'm just not honoring my human experience. That's how I see it. I came to this world to experience all of this humanness in all of its imperfection. And so if I'm just condemning the imperfection in my, human body, my human experience, then I'm not honoring it. And this goes against what my soul came here to experience. My soul came to experience the imperfection of this human body existence, this human existence. And so my first act of rebellion against perfection is to allow my inner feminine to break free, because the feminine is about wholeness. It's not about perfection. It's not about moving towards that definite goal that is the perfect. The feminine is about embodying wholeness, not perfection. So because she realizes that perfection does not exist, there isn't anything such as, there is nothing called perfect, because like we said, it's always there's always something better than whatever we are trying to evaluate. And so it cannot come to perfection. And so it's truly a revolution to decide to not adhere to the criteria of perfection. And so, first, I have to realize that I am enough. Remind myself always that I am enough just as I am. I can like write it, maybe repeat it as an affirmation, or you can write it on your mirror. That's where I have it written. I have it written on my bedroom mirror. Also, bring in more of my feminine qualities, because this will allow me to break free from my head, to get out of my head and come into my heart. It's going to allow me to embrace the imperfection, allow myself to be in the flow of my feminine creativity. Because the other day, one lady commented about her work and how she strives to always correct, and make it better and better and better and better. And this, keeps her stuck. And because of that, she experiences a lot of procrastination and anxiety and stress. And, my reply to her was, when you are in the flow, that state that allows you to create, when you are channeling that creativity, perfection is not part of that. That is perfect enough. Because when you tap into that energy, this is what perfection is. You just have to allow yourself to receive it, and then let it out in whatever form you express it. And so this is one way we can bust the ghost of perfection. Raise our emotional resilience, because like I said, this is going to allow us to better handle the anxiety or the stress that is resulting from us wanting to adhere to perfection. One thing that I have experienced was, like, in my work, when I wanted to post, is that I would when I'm in my masculine, I would like go after like the perfect photo for my post, the perfect font for whatever I'm going to write on that post, and then the perfect words. And then, I would procrastinate a lot about that. And then even when I posted, I would start coming up with, better ways of having written that or having presented that idea. And this is how I got to experience how this is truly a phantom. It's just a ghost that we're going after. But when I moved into asking my heart's intelligence, my intuition, what is a message that someone out there needs, and I could be a channel for that message, something that would make their day, or something that they are in need of reading or hearing. And although the answer would come in a super imperfect way, and I would just write that message, just write that post or record that video, and my inner perfection-seeking masculine would not be satisfied with it, yet the feedback that I would receive would be immense. It would be amazing. And people would tell me how that post, these words were speaking to them, and how they resonated with all of that. And so perfection does not exist in one way. I think it exists in a million of ways. We just have to be open to receive that. This should be the perfection that we go after, allowing that creativity to channel through us, and then we put it out there. We express it just the way it is, in its very real and raw form. It's also very important that we acknowledge our wins. Every day, write down in your journal your wins, no matter how simple they seem. It could be you connecting with a friend, making someone feel better about themselves, um, having maybe a discovery session without it being without it leading to a sale and a client booking you. It could be, they just had a lot of fun connecting with you. You made them feel a little bit better about themselves. Hi Fatum. And that would be definitely a big win. And so start acknowledging your small and big wins, and then realize that um, uh, this is going to help you build your self-esteem, build your self-confidence. This will also decrease your anxiety and you experiencing the stress as you go after this perfect thing that you want. And so we have to realize that perfect does not exist. Aiming for progress is what we need to go after, and allow ourselves to be okay with what we have put out there the way it is. And so we can train ourselves to, for example, if I'm writing this post, I could like give myself only 5 minutes to improve it. Then that's it. I have to post it the way it is. The more I do that, the less I put the less I need I'm going the less I'm going to need to make it better and better and better, because when I start receiving that feedback from others, I will start experiencing how this message was needed the way it is, the way I created that. And like Renata said, perfection is soulless. I think that what brings the soul into whatever we do, what brings the flavor, the juiciness into whatever we do, is it being imperfect, being super raw and real, just the way it is. And allowing ourselves to experience that rawness, that realness in whatever we create, that's going to be our revolution. That is going to be an act of rebellion. This is going to allow us to teach our nervous system to get this chemical of the satisfaction from creating this rawness and this realness versus receiving it from evaluating this thing that we created as it being perfect. And so we can get that feeling of we can train our nervous system to get that feeling of satisfaction from example, our imperfect messy curls versus having to have this perfect skin that is tight and toned, and so it's all about retraining our nervous system, retraining our subconscious mind to look for perfection in a way that does not conform to what the wounded masculine has created in our mind about what perfect is, and redefining perfection. So I guess this is our mission, all of us women, to redefine perfection in our own way and allow our feminine superpowers to express into that what we call perfect, and allow ourselves to experience that flow, allow ourselves to experience that creativity, and allow ourselves to experience the perfection in the imperfection that we see, in the realness, the rawness, and the bringing also this aspect of soul, this aspect of flavor and juiciness into whatever we are creating. So thank you to all of you who have watched this, those of you who commented. If you have any questions about anything that I talked about, please don't hesitate to reach out. And if you would like to learn more about my coaching program, which I dive deeper into what our um, feminine and masculine qualities are, what and how to bring balance to both our masculine and feminine energies, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can check out my scheduler. I will leave the link in the caption so that you can, use that link to check out my scheduler, and you can book your free session the time that is most convenient for you. And during this session, you and I can talk about how my coaching program can help you with starting by building your emotional resilience using powerful science-based tools and techniques, and also how to use your feminine superpowers and how to bring them into balance with your masculine superpowers as well. Thank you, Renata. I'm happy that you enjoyed this. And yeah, I hope that this is going to help you, bust that ghost and make you realize that it truly does not exist, and to have a lot of compassion towards yourself, because I'm sure that you are already doing great with whatever you are creating right now. You are inspiring a lot of people around you, every woman and man out there, sharing your soul's purpose. Whatever you are doing, every time that you allow yourself to just to be yourself, that in itself is an act of rebellion against the limiting societal norms. And just by doing that, you are bringing more balance and healing to the world. And for that, I say thank you. Thank you to everyone who joined me, and I will see you in the next live. Thank you.